have been meaning to show y'all a video of how I get the most out of my garden, whether it's in the greenhouse or out in the garden with our leafy greens. Now, as you can see, we've got stuff packed pretty tight in here. And if you watched many other YouTube videos of in greenhouses, I've just noticed a lot of them, they do like the finished spacing. So like if you have a cabbage or whatever, they'll do, like a 1 foot and then come off. That's a real waste of the ground that you have and the space that you have and the amount of time that you have, because you've only got a limited time in your greenhouse. So we sprinkle our seeds. It's pretty packed, but when it comes in as baby greens, you're cutting and it's making use. The roots are really tiny, the leaves are tiny, but you get a lot more in the space than if you had done the 4 or 6 inch spacing on your lettuce. And then as it grows, we will thin it. And as it grows, we'll thin it. And as it grows, we'll thin it. And we'll do a little bit at a time. But anyway, so I wanted to show you, because I didn't show you when it was baby, but we got all this lettuce over here. It looks gorgeous. You hear that sound? It's got substance to it. I'll go ahead and pick. Listen. Crunch. I love crunchy lettuce. You don't get that at the store. Not when it's baby lettuce. When it's bigger and bitter, you'll get it crunchy at the store. But the baby lettuce is not crunchy. And this is kind of a little bit bigger than baby lettuce. But anyway, let me see. I got some littler pieces. So this would be more like baby. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Okay, so I've already cut some today. So I'm going to show you. When I'm cutting, whether it's baby greens or bigger greens, coming through, I kind of did a whack job on this today where I just grabbed it and cut it. Usually I am cutting just the bigger leaves and going around and leaving the smaller ones when they're little. But when they're big like this, it takes over real quick. So you can see this level. Let me show you all around. I'm really shaky. I'm sorry. I'm so shaky right now. That's part of Lyme. All right, so you can see back there, I didn't cut. Up here, I did cut. So after cutting, like I said, we would do this when it was baby. Then I just come through and I'll show you over here. And I just go random. This is kind of tight, pull this one out. This is kind of tight, pull this one out. This is kind of tight, pull this out. Just pull a few and give them a little space. I just want to be able to see a little bit of dirt so that they'll have some more room, but it's not wasting the ground that's in there. So just go through. Well, that one don't want to come out. There we go. Try to keep some of the dirt in there and just go through and pull out and give a little space. So it's not hard. All right, so I would go through and do that and just pull out a little bit just to get a little bit more, more dirt showing. And so I'll show you, I've already done this section over here. All right, looks ugly. That's okay. But you can see I've got dirt coming around all the plants now. And it depends on the size of the plants and how much room they're going to need, how much I'm going to pull out. But so we've been, at some stages, I would do this every time I cut. I would cut and then pull some out, just depending on what they need and how quick they're growing. If they're growing slow, I wouldn't necessarily do that. And once they get to a good space, I won't continue to do that. But anyway, so you can see the difference between right here. Let me get you up close. Right here where I have not pulled out, so it's really, really tight. And then you come over here up close and you can see I've got dirt around. They're still in the spot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in this little section right here, so I'm not sure how many inches that is, but let's just say that that's about the space for one finished lettuce plant. I still have, let's see, 11, 12. I probably have in this section, like 10, 12 plants still. And so it had even more than that. So we were getting even more plants worth of harvest in that section. Now we'll be getting, those 10 plants or 12 plants worth of harvest out of here. And as it grows, then we'll thin it a little bit more until it's its finished place. Some people don't like this. They're like, oh, you're disturbing your roots and all this stuff. But I'm going to say, all right, this section right here, each one of these sections, you can see I've got, this green lettuce here this little bit more red lettuce here and this green lettuce here. It is across, it's 2.5 foot, and then wide it's a foot. So that's what, or it's supposed to be close to it. Some things might have ran over, but so like this lettuce is about a foot wide, then the green was about a foot wide, then this bronzy is about a foot wide. So just to let you see, I've harvested today this section over to there. So you're looking at 3 different varieties. I've cut a little bit more than half. So that's 3 foot. So that's going to be about 3 foot by close to about 2 foot or less. So out of that, I've got this whole stock pot today. This doesn't look big in the camera, but this is my biggest of my stock pots, I think. If it's not the biggest, it's the next to biggest. This is about 3 boxes of the big organic salad mix boxes that you get at the store. So in this little section that we got right here, that's going to be about $18 worth of lettuce in that one cutting. Instead of having one lettuce in this spot, I've got more out of this area in one cutting than maybe probably as much as I would get if all of those were mature heads and it was a single one every 4 to 6 inches. I got one cutting, and we've been cutting and cutting. So, and then we've got this pile over here. I don't let that go to waste. These are all the ones that I've pulled up. This is going to go to the chickens. And so it's not a waste. They get this nice amount after I've thinned. There's a little bit over here out of the way. So we've got all that for us, all this for the chickens. It's a pretty big pile for the chickens, and they will love it. It'll turn into beautiful eggs. So that's feeding us too by feeding the chickens. I'm really sorry that I'm so shaky today. I don't know. I can't seem to stabilize the camera. So, that's probably another box worth of lettuce supposed to go into the chickens. So it's kind of like us getting 4 boxes of salad today. And this will not take many days at all to fully recover and give us more out of it. And each time we thin, the next time, because the leaves are getting bigger with age and filling in and getting more crispy and just bigger and better than when they were baby, we'll be getting more out of it than when we thinned it because the leaves are bigger. So that is how I come in and we plant. We make use of all this ground that's in here. You can see little heads of lettuce over there that are forming. They're looking lovely, looking great. We thin it as it needs. We get to eat all that. The chickens get the roots and the stems that are left over. And every time the harvest gets better and better. And we're making use of that ground from the beginning. Even when they're tiny, tiny baby plants, we're getting a good harvest out of it. So, I don't know. We could get at least another box if I went ahead and cut the rest of this and cut that. We could get at least another pot worth, at least. And so that would be, and then if I thinned it, that would be like having another 4 boxes worth of salad. So just in this pot, you're looking at about $18. And that's not counting tax other than 1 cent, just because I want to round it up, or 2 cents. I think they're $5.98 a box. So rounding it up to 6, knocking off a little tax for me. And then kind of like another box here. So we'll go ahead and say $24, but really it's more because, eggs, they cost a lot. So something like that. But definitely in straight what we're going to eat, we're like $18 worth right there on this one day. So this one day we have $18 worth. If I wanted to come in tomorrow and cut that section right there, it's like another $18. If I want to cut over there the next day, and behind me, you can't see, well, got stuff behind me we could be cutting on. So it's right now, things are really picking up where it's like a saving $18+ a day, which actually, the other greenhouse today, I've already cut one other pot like this. We also picked for Michael's breakfast, and it was a whole salad box worth of radish greens and radishes. So I'll give you a final total at the end of what our savings would be just today after I get this measured up and all that added together with what I've already cut and what we cut for breakfast this morning. And I'll let you see what the savings look like today, just today. We've been keeping tabs about how much we're harvesting minus what people are snacking and putting it towards a total to see how long it's taken us to pay for our greenhouses. So I'll put all those figures up at the end of this video. There, tick, 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 tick. There you go. There's just some fresh salad greens from the greenhouse. What did you say?
I really want to ride bicycles, but I didn't know it takes a lot of practice. I didn't know that when I first wanted to ride a bicycle.
All right, you gonna show me how to ride?
Sure.
Go on further and then you can ride to me. Little bit just got this bicycle with no training wheels. Go further. For his birthday, he never really did training wheels. He has seizures if he falls and gets hurt, so we were worried. Go a little bit further. We were worried about having him do a bicycle, but he's been going a really long time. That's good. He's been going a really long time without seizures, and he's got to where with the supplements that we have him on, he's not having seizures if he falls. He used to. Every time he fell, he would have a seizure. Now he's not doing it at all. There we go. So his birthday was a little over a month ago, and he's finally got it. Don't hit me. Woo! There you go. All right, so after we've got this all thinned and we've got the chickens fed, went ahead and watered it. Now that the ground's all exposed, so I can get down there, not just travel on the leaves, and also get any dirt that might have got on the other leaves as I was pulling stuff up. So now it looks all nice and pretty. You can just see some dirt in there. Okay, this is just the start of our harvest today. We're washing, so this is a big of a regular towel folded in half, if that gives you perspective. So we're washing the greens. So this is just half of that big pot that I had out there, which as you can see, which has got water in it. It's still got a bunch in there. So we've got all this washed. Now we still have to do that, and that. And then of course, that pot up there. So I'm not gonna have enough room on my towel. I wanted one big picture to show you all that's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna have room.